today we start our lessons on equations. What is an equation? An equation is a mathematical statement that has two expressions separated by an equal sign. The expression on the left side of this equal sign has the same value as the expression on the right side. One or both of the expressions may contain variables. Solving an equation means finding the value of the variables, meaning that we do whatever algebraic operation it requires to solve the equation so that the statement is true. Let's say we have x equals 5 minus 3. The first thing you do is to do operation on the expression. So we subtract 5 minus 3 is 2. So x equals 2. Equations often express relationship between given quantities, the known and quantities yet to be determined, or unknowns. Let's say we have x plus 5 equals 8. So we have two expressions here, 8 and x plus 5. This is called an equation because you have equal signs. In this example, x is unknown quantity, but whatever quantity it is, when add up, must be equal to 8. Let's say we have 3x plus 4 equals 2x plus 10. We have two expressions here. Each expression has two terms. So let's say if we insert 6, let's say x equals 6. Is this statement true? Is this an equation? So we insert 6 instead of x to see if the statements are true. 3 times 6 plus 4 equals 2 times 6 plus 10. We do the operation. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 4 equals 2 times 6 is 12 plus 10. 22 equals 22. Yes, this statement is true. This is an equation. Let's say we have 2x minus 6 equals 5. What about this statement? We insert 6 and we have 2 times 6 minus 6 equals 5. 2 times 6 is 12 minus 6 equals 5. 6 equals 5. So this is not a true statement. It is an inequality. Let me clear the board here and do one more example. Let's say we have 5x minus 22 equals 2x minus 4. We insert 6 instead of x and we have 5 times 6 minus 22 equals 2 times 6 minus 4. As 5 times 6 is 30 minus 22 equals 2 times 6 is 12 minus 4. We add them up. It's 8 equals 8. So this is an equation. How to solve an equation? Solving an equation is like solving a puzzle. It means finding a value for the variable that makes the statement or the equation true. You can think of an equation like a balanced scale. Whatever you do to one side of the scale, you must do it to other side too, in order to keep the balance, right? For instance, if you add 1 pound of rice, for instance, to one side of the scale, you have to add 1 pound to the other side too, in order to keep the scale in balance. Let's look at the simple addition equation. Let's say we have x plus 25 equals 40. To solve the equation, we must try to get the variable x alone on one side of the equation. We can use the inverse of addition or subtraction in order to get the x alone on the left side. Usually we do it on left side, but some people might do it on right side. But the common way is to do it to keep the x on the left side. To solve the equation, we must try to get the variable x alone on one side, right? So we can use the inverse of adding, which is subtracting. We can use the inverse of adding, which is subtracting, and get the x alone on one side of the equation. But the scale is not in balance. To balance the scale, we must also subtract 25 from the right side of the equation. So we have 40. We subtracted by 25. So we get x equals 15. Our unknown, which is x here, is 15. We can check this solution by substituting the value of 15 for x in the original equation. Let's say if we put 15 instead of x, plus 25 equals 14, and we add these two up, we get 40 equals 40. So this is a true statement, and we know that our solution is correct. Let's do another example. Let's say we have 15x equals 450. As we said, we can do the inverse operation in order to get x alone on one side. Since 15 is multiplied by x, we can divide it by 15. But if we do that to one side of the equation, we need to do it to other side too, right? So 15 divided by 15 cancel out, and 450 divided by 15, we get 30. And we can check our solution by putting the number 30 in the equation, and let's see our solution is correct. If we multiply 15 by 30, we get 450, which is equals to 450. This is a true statement. I'm going to make some room here first. Next example is 2x plus 6 equals 18. As you see, we have more than one operation on the left side of the equation. Sometimes the equation gets more complicated and requires to apply more than one operation to solve it. In order to have a guideline to do that, we have to go through several steps. First, we must get the variable all by itself. To isolate the variable, we must undo the operation done to variables. Third, we undo an operation by doing its reverse. Whatever is done last, undo first. We undo each step in the reverse order. Undo it until there is no variable to solve. This is our guideline to how to solve equation when there is more than one operation. So let's see how we can solve our equation. We have 2x plus 6 equals, in the first expression, 6 is the last operation. So we take care of 6 first. 2x plus 6 minus 6 equals 18. Since we are doing to one side of the equation, we need to do it to other side too. So minus 6. Then we'll have 2x. 6 and 6 cancel out and we'll have 12. Then now we have to take care of the coefficient and have the variable alone. So we divide 2. So we divide 2 by 2 and 12 by 2. Then we get x equal 6 and we are done. Let me make some room here first. Next example is 8 parentheses a minus 2 equals to 32. This is called two-step equations because there are more than one operation to do to solve the equation. To solve this particular equation, there are two ways to take. The first is to distribute 8 to the parentheses and solve for the equation. And the second is to look for the last operation is done and then solve for that one. Let's do the first one. 8 times a is 8a. 8 times 2 is 16 equals 32. Now, the last operation here is 16. So we take care of 16 in order to have the variable all by itself. So 8a minus 16 plus 16 equals to 32 plus 16. Since we are doing the addition to the left side of the equation, we need to do that to the other side of the equation as well. So these two cancel out and we'll have 8a equals to 48. In order to take care of the coefficient, since it's multiplication, we do the reverse and divide it by 8. So we divide 8 by 8 and 48, the other side, by 8 too. So we'll get a equals to 6. And we are done here. Let's do the second way. So we have 8 times a minus 2 equals to 32. The last operation done to this expression is 8 times parentheses, right? So we can divide it by 8. We can divide both sides by 8. Then you have a minus 2 equals 4. Now the last operation done to this expression is minus 2. So we do the reverse by a minus 2 plus 2 equals 4 plus 2. Then we have a equals 6. So we are done. Let's do some more complicated equations. Next example is 5a plus 6 equals 2a minus 3. This problem is typical of what you can expect to see in a multi-step equation. This equation has a variable on both sides of the equal sign. We must first put the variables on the same side. Let's move 2a from the right side to the left side by subtracting 2a from both sides. So we subtract 2a minus 2a and we get 3a plus 6 equals to minus 3. Now that we have isolated the variable on the left side of the equation, we can go about solving the new equation. And so we do the last operation is done in this expression, which is 6. And we write down 3a plus 6 minus 6 equals to minus 3 minus 6. So we have 3a, 6 plus positive 6 and negative 6 cancel out, and we'll have minus 9. So the last operation is done to the variable is coefficient. Since it's multiplication, we can divide it by 3 in both sides, and we'll get a equals minus 3, and we are done. Next example, let's say we have 2b minus 4 parentheses b plus 2 equals 3b plus 2. The first thing we do in this example is to distribute 4 to the parentheses. So we'll have 2b minus 4 times b is 4 minus 4b, minus 4 times 2 is minus 8. And then we'll have 3b plus 2. Now that we simplified the expressions, we can combine the like terms. So we can combine 2b and 4b. Then we'll have minus 2b minus 8 equals 3b plus 2. At this point, we can use our operation skills to find the solution for the equation. So we need to isolate our b on one side of the equation. Therefore, we need our 3b move to the left side of the equation. In order to have b isolated on the left side of the equation, we can bring our 3b to the left, but the sign would change. So we'll have minus 2b plus minus 3b minus 8 equals 2. Minus 2b and minus 3b together is minus 5b. And we have minus 8 equals 2. Now we need to take care of 8. So it's minus 5b minus 8 plus 8 equals to 2 plus 8. So 8 and minus 8 and positive 8 cancel out, and we'll have minus 5b equals to 10. The last operation is to take care of coefficient. So we divide both sides by 5. So we divide both sides by minus 5, and we'll get b equals to minus 2. Our next example is 9x minus 3 parenthesis 2x minus 2 and equals to x. First thing is we distribute 3 to the parentheses. So we have 9x minus 3 times 2x is minus 6x. Minus 3 times minus 2 is positive 6 equals to x. Next is to combine the like terms, which is 9x and minus 6x. Combined, we'll have 3x plus 6 equals to x. Next step is to isolate x in the left side of the equation and numbers to the right. So we take care of 6 first. We'll have 3x plus 6. The reverse is minus 6 equals to x. We do the same to the right side of the equation and we add minus 6. Then we'll have 3x. These two cancel out, equals to x minus 6. Then we need to bring x to the left side of the equation, but the sign will change. So we'll have 3x minus x equals to minus 6. We combine these two, we'll have 2x equals to minus 6. Since the coefficient is multiplication, we divide it by 2 and for both sides, and we'll have x equals to minus 3. And we are done. I think you are ready to solve some equations at home. Let me draw a line here and write some equations for you to solve it at home. Let's say 8n plus 7 equals to 31. N plus 5 minus 16 equals to minus 1. 8 plus b over minus 4 equals to 5. 7 parenthesis 9 plus x equals to 84. 10 minus 6x equals to minus 104. And the last one, x over 9 minus 1 equals to minus 2. We are at the end of our session on equation and how to solve an equation. one-step and two-step equation.